Well, today on Capitol Hill, lawmakers on the Senate Homeland Security Committee examined the recent massive immigration enforcement operation in Minnesota, as well as the rampant fraud that has occurred in the state. Joining me now is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper, who has been tracking today's top stories. Casey, was that hearing as lively as yesterday's House Judiciary Committee hearing?
Lively is the word. Yeah, maybe not quite as lively. Definitely heated, though, Tony, on a pretty cold day in D.C. And what we saw this hearing was leaders from different areas. We saw Minnesota leaders, we saw federal officials and heads of relevant agencies, and then we saw the senators talking about those two issues, the protests and ICE operations in Minneapolis, and then the fraud that got it all started. Republican Senator Rand Paul made a point in saying that ICE has to regain the public's trust. There's a lot of points made today. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, he told the committee that federal agencies are refusing to cooperate with the state investigations into the shooting deaths of those two Americans that were, caught on camera and really went viral during ICE operations. He said that the feds have really pushed them out of the investigations room. Republican Senator Ron Johnson, he's firing back, though. He says that officials in Minnesota, local leaders, they're fueling the chaos that is really taken over the streets of Minneapolis. And our friend Republican Senator Josh Hawley, he grilled Ellison on what started all this in the first place, which is failing to address fraud in the state. Here's a clip.
The donations came on December 20th. Sir, you met with them on December the 11th, and on January 20th, the FBI knocked over their headquarters.
No.
That's the sequence of events here.
No, it's not.
You've been right at the center of this fraud thing from the beginning, and you've enabled it. And, sir, you should resign.
Okay, maybe that was more lively than yesterday. I'll let you be the judge, Tony, but definitely more anger, more controversy over Minneapolis today.
Well, also, we've learned today that the immigration surge in Minnesota is now coming to an end.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of big news out of Minneapolis today. So Border Czar Tom Homan, he held a much-anticipated press conference this morning where he said ICE agents are leaving Minneapolis. Here's a clip.
With that, and success that has been made arresting public safety threats and other priorities since this surge operation began, as well as the unprecedented levels of coordination we have obtained from state officials and local law enforcement, I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude.
Now, Homan did say there's still going to be some ICE agents in the state, but it's going to be a far cry from the 3,000 federal agents that surged into Minneapolis after those widespread reports of fraud. And he also made clear that if these agents find any illegal immigrants, they are going to take the enforcement action and process them accordingly. Now, he also took time to really dispel what's become a Democrat talking point, and he said, hey, we haven't been, raiding hospitals, schools, and churches to deport people, which is one of the things that's become the center of debate on Capitol Hill and held up government funding, really. Now, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, for his part, he said he would happily pack the bags of ICE agents leaving the state, which is kind of interesting because all this controversy has really swept under the rug a lot of his role in the fraud that has been dominating his state for many years.
Casey, I heard that Tom Homan said that these ICE agents would go back to their home stations or be deployed elsewhere. Any indication that there may be another ICE surge somewhere else?
I think it's very possible once things cool down a little bit. If you've been following this, as I know you have, they've been going city by city and state by state. So Minneapolis, there was a news hook to get them in there, but it was just the latest in a string of cities, and also with the National Guard deployments that they've been considering. Some cities have pushed back on that. Some, like Tennessee, welcomed it. But I don't think that Minneapolis is the last that we're going to see of this.
All right. Casey Harper, thanks so much for joining us.